What up, B? How you doing?
Talk about ice.
ICE. Did you get me a water, brother?
No, Andre handed them out.
I'm gonna get a water.
I didn't know you were coming.
I'm coming. Why am I not coming? I'm always here. Baby, you got me a water? Hey, I'm filming. I'm filming unless you don't want to talk about that stuff.
No, we're filming. I'm not a felon yet. It's pending.
Oh, you're like right on it now, huh?
I'm not a wait, I am actually. I've got domestic violence. I think that makes you. No, it's not actually a felony.
Yeah, I guess.
Misdemeanor. I missed the wiener. What up, bro? You got me a water?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for.
Oh my goodness.
Morning. All right. How you doing? Afternoon. Thanks, brother.
What time is it?
We're just a couple minutes away. Oh, what's
5:10. Dude, I've worked my whole life trying not to be a felon.
What are you doing about that?
This is some crazy crap, bro.
That is crazy.
Dude, we just got done talking about it on our show, dude.
That's homemade.
Yeah, we did just get done talking
We
about it.
just got done talking about it. Yeah. You get Nest Pots?
Yeah.
You go to the mall and get the Nest Pots? What's the chance of that, dude? We talked about it being
No,
flawed
we
and
did
crooked.
Oh,
you
you
never
never
have
Now all of a sudden it's flawed and
We
crooked.
know for sure.
What up,
I don't think I've ever had Nest coffee.
They're good, bro. They taste way better than Starbucks.
No, we're talking about ice. It's called,
Immigration.
no, it's called Ignorant Cops
Oh my goodness.
Educated.
That doesn't. That's
Ignorant
like a
cops educated.
oxymoron there, bro. You just literally.
Oh, ignorance and educated?
No,
Yeah, oxymoronical. But no, it's what is ICE? ICE.
I wonder if that's
Immigration.
Citizenship enforcement.
No, customs. Immigration.
Oh,
Immigration
customs
customs enforcement. Yeah.
You know what's crazy is my friend was in town, and if I would have known that, I tried to get him on here. He was a border patrol.
Oh, he was ICE.
He
You
retired.
should have brought him in.
He left. I was like, bro, if you should have stayed one more day, you could have talked all.
Where'd you
about
know this guy?
He's from high school.
Oh.
Or in even
Where's he
elementary.
living?
Oh, he's over in Arizona.
Oh, he just came for the funeral?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In the.
That's stunting right there.
Yeah.
Did he drive here?
Is this
Fly here?
Fly.
coffee okay?
It tastes disgusting. It's like gross.
Oh, that's harsh. Harsh.
Yeah, it is.
Where's Reno's in Cali? Reno's in
Going
Cali.
back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali.
I don't think so. I'm going back.
You know why Sean Puff Combs is going through what he's going through?
Why, bro? Why?
Because
he was
because they took him for the murder, so they're getting him for. They know he committed murder, so since they didn't care.
What murder did he commit?
He had Tupac.
Tupac?
I can't believe we just talked about this stuff, but it's trying
No.
to happen to me.
Yeah. We gotta change the.
Yeah,
change the game.
that's a bad mojo. That ghost in the microphone was letting those guys hear me.
You can keep that mic.
Yeah, that's your mic.
Yeah, you get that microphone.
Um,
It's still like a.
I'm telling you, man, that's some crazy crap right here, dude.
Sometimes I go like around the room and I just kind of watch somebody for a minute.
What up, guys? Perspective suckers.
And I keep forgetting to wear that
It stands
stuff.
for in case of emergency.
Yeah, but my
In
coach.
case.
What is
Oh,
ICE?
Immigration Customs Enforcement.
Is that what I stands for?
Yeah.
Yeah, immigration,
So jacked up.
customs
Immigration
enforcement.
Customer Enforcement.
No, immigrations. Hey,
Dude,
cool
that
it down.
coffee's
Cool
Why
it
are
down.
you adding water to it?
Cool it
Because
down.
it's
Hot.
Yeah.
Right? That's why you drink hot coffee. It's hot.
Dude, look at that.
Warm coffee.
It is beautiful outside.
Mm.
Nice and cloudy.
Cloud cover.
Rain on all the pukes and the maggots
Bro,
out there.
Bro, I'm going through it, man.
What's up?
You going through it? Really, bro? Come on.
Oh, I know, man. I'm
Come
sorry.
on.
You're going through it.
Well, you can
You're
you can
going
go
through
through it too. Let's hear it.
I know. I just don't understand.
I'm not going through it. I just don't know what's going on.
I
But I'm not
understand.
about to get hemmed up by the police.
Wow, bro.
He's right though. I
I
mean,
want to hear.
You're
I want to
you
hear.
know,
Keith, what's up?
well, so Braden quit.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how to do installations. Braden had a 12-year contract. He backed out of it.
12 years?
Yeah. Because as a franchise, if you sign somebody up for a franchisee, right?
Uh-huh.
So I signed him up as a franchisee.
We almost ready, guys? We got 1 minute.
You know, and he backed out. And then he was going to give me 3 weeks of training where I could learn.
Can you hear me?
And he backed out of that too.
And then it got down to 3 days. So I'm like in the throes of learning how to do windshield
Can you
replacements.
hear me? Can you hear all of us?
Dirty.
Okay.
This rough.
YouTube.
Brian, you're not putting your headphones
Are you
on?
gonna sue or?
No.
I would.
No. I'm not going to hold him to that contract.
Yeah.
He wants out. He wants to leave. He's gone. That's fine.
He's a kid though.
He's 22.
How's it going?
Ice,
It's
ice,
the
baby.
truth.
Ice.
This is Heath right here.
It's the
Thanks,
truth.
brother.
No.
Nope. Thank you for
This is
asking.
about vanilla ice today, right? Ice, right?
All right, man. It's on YouTube
Vanilla.
right now.
Okay.
I know,
So-
Brock. Handle yourself.
We're waiting
Awesome.
for you to put a name on. Okay.
Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, Brock.
Can you?
Actually, we all
Okay.
got excited there for a minute.
I know, dude. Instead of saying, "Oh, we got a call," why don't
Yeah.
you say, "Why don't you, Brock?" Instead of
Gotcha.
saying,
Oh,
Brock. Instead of saying, "We got a
Gotcha.
Brock,
Perfect.
Okay.
hello." Instead of saying, "We got a call," say, "Oh, Mike, you're on the air."
yeah. Don't
So,
freak
oh,
out.
we got a call.
Dude, you do
Come
do
on,
this
guys.
sometimes.
I like it when we get calls. I like it when we get calls. I like it when
Do this. Do this.
Don't sound needy.
Yeah,
I know
don't
you
sound
sound
like
needy,
it.
bro.
I'm a needy guy. I'm a needy
Yeah,
guy.
you are. That's the truth.
Are you over there flexing your pecs?
Yeah,
you're just sitting there flexing your pecs. Pop,
Oh,
pop, 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 pop.
Oops, sorry. I shouldn't
here
say
we go. Here we go.
Oh.
Hey,
Whoa.
hey.
that.
You almost sounded like a horse.
Mr. Ed here. Mr. Ed. Dude, maybe I will redo that. Mr. Ed, the electrician, recommends.
Guess what?
Clearview. These commercials are good, dude.
That one, man.
These dudes at my job were listening to it. They're like, man, these are really good. One dude was like, I don't like the incarceration one. My dad's incarcerated.
Wait, what?
One dude was like, man, you guys sound so good, but I don't like hearing prison talk.
Hey,
My dad's in prison.
Hey, give us like 5 minutes of
Sorry.
just chatting, bro. Don't go straight into the show, bud.
He's sick.
Oh yeah, give it a little play, Brock. A little play.
Little play.
It's your pastor. Yeah.
Clearview. We got a legit song.
Mm-hmm.
Yup.
How's everybody doing today? This is KLZ 560 AM. You can reach us at 303-477-5600. Again, that's 303-477-5600. Just remember, go to our Facebook page and post your pictures of your dog. At the end of the month, whoever has the best looking dog in there, we're going to give you a dinner, you and your significant other, to Cinzetti's and a Bo Nix jersey. Again, like we said, you're going to have to get that stuff signed yourself, but still would be cool to represent the Denver Broncos as you're hanging out. Let's go around the room. Tell them who you guys are, and we'll get into our discussion, boys.
Well, I'm the truth in the booth.
He's the false prophet. But it's VIP here.
I'm Brock,
And this is Heath.
and I guess today is we decided to go with the topic of
Ice, baby.
ice. What's
Yeah.
wrong, Truth?
Yeah, we're not talking about Van Winkle. We're not talking about Van Winkle.
Lonely road.
It's a lonely road. Okay, before we get started,
That's a good
let's
song too.
let's get this. I kind of found something since we're going with the topic of ice. So
Yeah.
let's see if
Explain
we
what ice is.
hold on. First, let's do this.
What's the next? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Ice, baby.
There it
Any
is.
Ice agents out there, give us a call.
Van
Ice,
Winkle.
ice, 477-5600.
So go ahead and stop. Go ahead and stop and
Yeah.
collaborate. Let's listen. Come on.
It's done right there. So let's talk about it, because it seems like everywhere today, everybody's talking about this topic. And before we
Yeah.
get on the whole ICE issue, did we really have an invasion at the border? Let's start
Be
there.
real. Let's
Did that happen?
Truth. Let's hear it.
What do you mean an invasion?
So
Under the last
Don't-
3 years.
yeah, Donald Trump signed the executive order for all that.
However, Biden then on his administration
Unhinged
he opened
it.
up totally. Was it an invasion, or is it just new voters coming in for the DNC?
Man, you guys
Dirty?
digging
Is that
deep.
dirty?
Yeah, we're digging deep
Digging
today.
deep.
So let's start there. So was it an actual invasion? If the border's open and
How
people
could
were
it be an
coming,
Okay.
invasion if the president allowed you to come in?
And
Well,
countermanded a federal law that basically says, that you have a proper legal aid to enter the country, but they didn't enforce. He didn't countermand it, actually. Let's just be real. He just didn't enforce the law. He didn't write an executive order, I don't believe. He just didn't enforce federal law.
because
Correct.
isn't it illegal to come into someone's country?
Isn't it illegal to
Illegally?
come into your house without
That's a good point.
permission?
That's a good,
Yeah,
that's a good point.
yeah, but this is America, man. Come to me, all you who are heavy laden and burdened.
Yeah.
I will give you rest.
Wait, that's
And
the
I-
Bible, bro.
Okay,
I
well.
mean,
Yes. I was like, I don't remember this law, bro. I don't remember reading this in school, man.
just think about how many people in other countries want to come to America. I mean,
Okay.
But should we let them come to America?
yeah, I mean, I don't have any problems
What about-
with that. I have great friends that are illegal.
Where do they
You
live?
got a girlfriend that's illegal.
So finish that topic. You were saying you got a great friend that's illegal.
Yeah, but they're trying to get their papers now.
Okay.
But still,
Illegally.
haven't you ever seen that? There's a movie. It was in like
Dude, you
2000,
watch a lot of
2005. It was called A Day Without a Mexican. You
A
ever seen
Day-
that movie?
and what?
It was
and what
so
happens?
A
good.
day without Sancho?
Yes,
So-
bro.
Santeria.
But no, to spin off the topic of that movie, it's like, the Mexicans were doing certain jobs that no one else wants to do. So when you're, at a
I'm tired of hearing people say that. Is that a real statement?
Even W. Bush made that and said, he didn't want to enforce, the immigration part to a certain degree.
Okay,
Or
so-
degree. I'm sorry.
So you're
Maybe even a degree.
you're a Republican.
No, I'm independent.
You're an independent.
Absolutely, I don't believe.
Brian,
Republicans or the
Truth,
Democrats
what are-
have a good
no,
answer.
I'm with whatever president stands for Israel.
Okay, so you're a Democrat one week and a Republican the next.
He's a Democrat.
Okay, and
Well,
when
which other-
you're a libertarian.
I don't know. I mean,
You're-
if I was anything,
You're
I'd be a
definitely more
libertarian.
libertarian.
Yeah, and I don't
Sure.
even know if it's legal to say this on the air, but I don't vote. Like my wife, whatever she wants to vote, that's the way
Yeah,
I
you're
vote.
libertarian for
I like-
sure.
Oh.
Yes, that's libertarian. The complete definition of it, man.
A libertarian is less government.
Well, right.
Yes,
It's
that-
less
so-
government
so-
for sure.
Conservative, too.
Mm,
It could also fall under conservative also.
Yeah.
And I'm Republican through and through. Like it's
Yeah.
never going to change. Like but we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about all the money they're spending to get rid of illegals, right?
What
Okay,
about
let's say
all
they're
the money?
spending all. Oh, just hold on. They're spending all kind of money to get this process going, and in 4 years, if you have another president
It's going to
come
overturn.
in and
Overturn.
overturn and allow all the illegals back in, not only did you waste time, you wasted money, and so forth.
Well, someone's
It's just a
got to
process.
parent the country, Brian. And for the last 3 or 4 years, who was the adult? Nobody.
No, yeah, I agree with
That's
that. I
a good-
totally agree.
There's
with
got to
that.
be
You gotta
structure.
make
There's
hard
got to be
choices.
structure, guys.
But not every president has
Yeah.
structure.
Okay, then let me ask you this: if it's legal to open our borders to, let's say, everybody from Africa, then why do we even need passports?
Right.
Why can't we just freely
Let's-
go back and
that's
forth to
good.
everyone's
Let's
country?
turn that around. If I go to Mexico, are they going to just let me vote and do whatever I want? And are they going to let me just apply to their system and allow me to
No,
have
indeed
health
not.
care, all these things, without having checked in?
It's never going to happen.
It's not going to
They're
happen.
not going to let it
Okay,
happen.
what about Russia?
Not going to let it happen.
France,
Not going to let it happen.
Germany,
Not going to let it happen.
even Canada, right?
Definitely
gonna-
not going to let it happen.
There you go.
And that's the point we're making. There's got to be structure somewhere.
I know, and I
Man.
believe that. I'm just saying
Man,
that
oh man.
every president has a different system, so we can spend all this time trying to parent that. But then in 4 years, it could all change again.
Buddy, you
I
live
say-
with your mom, so there's
I say the solution to the problem is hug a Guatemalan. And you need
What?
yeah.
All right,
Over
What is
over on Colfax in Colorado, man, you can get your windshield, everything washed.
You got stuck in this game. Are you giving him
Yeah.
business cards?
Yeah, yeah, buddy, I'm a capitalist, baby.
If anybody wants to chime in and talk to the guys, again, the number is 303-477-5600. We're the guy's perspective, and we're talking about, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about ICE. And are they going overboard? Should they be able to go into your facilities, your company, and hem people up?
Well, and let people know, ICE just is Immigration Customs Enforcement.
That's exactly what it is.
So,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts about how many children have come through that are unaccounted for, undocumented? Nobody knows where they went. They're trying to get them all back. Isn't that a problem? And if you have any type of
It's a major
morals, yeah,
Yeah.
anybody's gonna say, "Well, what happened to these children under the last 4 years?"
Adopt a Guatemalan.
There you go.
So just so our listeners can understand, all of us understand the 14th Amendment, right? So
No,
basically,
you've been
here,
wanting
I'm
to
going
talk
to read
about
to you
this.
guys what the 14th
Okay.
Amendment is. All persons born or neutralized in the United States naturalized. Did I say neutralized?
Mhm.
Naturalized in the
You said
United
yeah.
States and subject to the jurisdictions thereof are citizens of the United States wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge that privileges or immunities of citizens. Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, the way I interpret this is if you're an illegal and you come to America and you have a child, that child is an American citizen.
Yeah, that's
but
like-
you are not.
Well, that's
Right.
kind of a pro-life approach, in a sense, there's something in the Bible that was the blood avenger. So if you've murdered somebody and you go into another country, then you get to avoid the blood avenger, the one who is going to get you.
All right, but bringing up the Bible, there is a scripture that basically talks about, when you allow a foreign
Somebody-
invader to come
yes.
into your land, and in a nutshell, don't be surprised when they basically convert you into their way
Wow.
to destroy the economy and destroy
Wow.
everything. So
Wow.
there's Bible goes both ways. It's a two-way street about.
So then let me ask you this: if two people enter your country illegally and they have a child, and the parents get sent back, should the child get sent back also?
that seems the right way. I mean, because what parent leaves their children?
That's a good point.
I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but
No, for sure.
if I came, my dad's an immigrant, and it
Okay.
took years. He knows the Constitution. He knows all these things. He knows the Declaration of Independence. Just all these things that most of us forgot or don't know as citizens.
Yeah.
Because my dad immigrated here, and his brothers and his sisters immigrated here. It was a long process, and he had the proper due process because he obeyed the laws of the land, which is another Bible reference too.
How long do you think it took him to get his paper?
It took a long time. Over a couple not a couple decades, but it took over a decade.
Then illegal for a few decades, no?
Well, actually, he married and he
It's
was legal, but he still said, "I'm going to be a citizen of the United States. I'll take up the banner, the flag. I'll defend this." Because that's what they're required to do. When
For
you
sure.
legally come in here, you're required to take that oath. That oath basically is similar to a military oath that I will defend and protect the country that I'm adopting to be in, including learning English. which
So
we did.
so what if
Which
Well,
is- that's another topic I wanted to bring up. If they're required to try to be a citizen, the requirement should be that they would have to learn English.
That is a
that's really good.
they have to know
That's
the
good.
language of that country. I think almost every country.
Why is it okay for us to hold such a stringent angle on anybody who's coming into the country as to what they need to know when we ourselves don't know enough or do enough for our own country? When we all crap
Another
on
good
it, when we
point.
all take advantage, when we all,
You're right.
you know what I mean?
We've
But
done
that's
super
because you're an
lazy.
American citizen, though.
then that's privilege.
Lazy Americans.
Well,
Yeah, you get privilege.
It might be a privilege. I mean, so I guess
You're taking advantage of the privilege. I mean, in a lot of ways.
But
Well-
how much more so are illegals taking advantage of situations that we put our tax dollars into?
Mm.
My son, and I'm thankful for this, before he passed, I told you it was a struggle for him to actually get on. He actually had a waiver. We paid for medical equipment used. And then one day, thankfully under Hickenlooper, he turned the switch around and basically said, why should children that are profoundly disabled have to have their parents fork out all this? And the saddest thing was that under the last administration, it didn't matter. You could come in, get the health services. My son would sit in the waiting room, with at the time, waiting for hours because the emergency rooms are packed because the illegals, and let's just be real, illegal is a legal definition of people that have unlawfully entered the country. So I'm not trying to be rude, I'm not trying to be mean, but they used up a lot of the resources that we needed. I needed.
wow.
Because let's just be real.
But here's the thing.
Medical is not cheap.
Here's the thing, though, when you have the huge medical industry,
Correct.
the medical
It's
complex,
not fair.
yeah, it's not fair to begin with, and then it would certainly find somebody that they could frame to be the problem and the culprit of the issue,
I agree too.
right?
So, we do
So it's
that,
not so
that
not
therein lies
so it
the
is not.
second.
Yes, so it's not entirely that people are coming into the country illegally,
Indeed.
having children, birth, and going to the
And I do
hospital.
believe that if you have a child in the United States, I know Donald Trump wants to remove them and says that's technically not law, but I don't know, if you have a child in the United States, look for reason from becoming a U.S. citizen because they were born on, our nation's
U.S. soil.
dirt.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's what the 14th Amendment's saying.
Yeah,
is
you
that-
you read it.
I just read it. So that child, in my eyes, is an American citizen, but
Yeah.
the parents are not.
So then, would they be dual citizenship when they're
It
born
makes you-
here, then they go back?
So
to the
that was
country
going to be
because
the
they get
next question I
export.
brought up. Is there dual citizenship if you're born here in America but your parents are illegal?
I think one would have to maintain citizenship. Oh, hey, Bruce Lee. I think Bruce Lee's father, Bruce Lee's father was an American, and so I guess Bruce Lee was born American. He did, and then
Yeah.
he found out later when he was like 18. He was like, "Hey, get out of here," because
So
I didn't know that.
Well,
Brandon.
well, yeah.
So
Brandon
what about
Lee's
what
was
about
a-
if the president turned around and said, "Okay, there's never like Truth in Booth was saying, the next president's going to come up and he's going to erase
Unravel.
everything the
But will
presidents do."
he? Will he though? I mean,
So I was
that's a
gonna say-
gamble. And everything that
Well-
truth says isn't the truth.
I agree with Truth though, because
Every president does it.
No,
Yeah.
every 4 years we get spun up in the same things. It's everything with immigration. It's fuel,
Always.
which doesn't bother me because I drive a Tesla. So
Well, I do too.
Well, and
Yeah,
I'm going to plug this in. In my eyes, President Trump is the best president the United States has ever had, and I'm
No.
leaving it at that.
No,
but
he
that's
isn't.
coming from me.
you've got that absolutely
Spin it
wrong.
Oh my god.
No, you've got that absolutely wrong. I was never the best president. I was
So-
the greatest president.
So if like he said,
Huge.
if what Truth said, the next 4 years they're going to reverse it, then shouldn't there be some kind of law in place right now that says this many people can only come to America at a certain amount of time?
Well, that's a good question that you're asking that because I think back to when they made the Constitution of America and they put those laws into enforcement. Why can't they do the same thing now? Why can't they make a law why can't they put out a law now that can't be reversed from a design?
So because this is what I think they should do. If you're coming to the United States of America, and this must be a real deep subject because we ain't really laughing about anything. We're taking turns talking. If you come to America, and let's say you're in America, let's say you're from, China, and you've been here for 2 years, and you've lived on the system, they should have to ship you back. You should not get to stay in America and take advantage of our laws, our goodness, our benefits, any of that. You shouldn't be able to take advantage of all that.
But some countries'
Tell you
economies
what.
are so bad.
I'll
They
tell.
want out of that. Who wants to go live in those circumstances and situations?
Yeah, people are looking for a better opportunity in
life.
life. Yeah, and I'll tell you this, man.
Well, so you're
I'll tell-
telling
I'll
you're
tell-
telling
I'll
me you
tell- I'll
can't
tell
go
you
to
this, I'll
college
tell you
and,
this,
and
man. I
make
get-
a better opportunity
hey.
in Africa?
Hey, listen here, man. I get pretty tired of hot dogs, pizza, and burgers, bro. I go up Federal and I have pho with the Vietnamese. I have Thai food with the wild
listen.
gingers. I have Korean food on K-Town down here.
Listen,
So
Where's K-Town?
K-Town,
Yeah.
Koreatown.
Oh,
Koreatown. You got like
K-Town.
Seoul. Yeah, you got like Seoul. Yeah, because it's a little Korean community down over here
Gotcha.
in Aurora. And I love eating at those places because I love culture, man.
I do too, but
But we're debating, the right and the wrong way to do it, man. But I want to take it back to Brian, which he's saying everybody is searching for a future and a hope and a new life, a pursuit of happiness, man.
Wow.
And
exactly.
America's the place that gets it.
So do you think America still has the American dream then?
Yeah.
Are you
No,
positive
that's-
about it? You kind of stuttered with that.
Wait, no.
Hold on. I want to hear
What
this.
about him?
Oh, okay.
He just is like no. You just
Okay.
said no.
I would say
okay,
it's
well-
faded away.
But why do you say that? Is it because immigrants have came in and
Taking
took
up all
it-
the jobs.
No. They're not taking up the jobs.
Mm.
But
Okay,
if you allow 5 million people into your country, that's a lot more homes you got to build. That's a lot more food you got to stock the
that
shelves
they,
with.
that they
Okay,
are
so let
providing.
me hear.
Listen, my sister just purchased a house. She bought the house herself. People are coming in and telling her that she has to change the paint on her house.
That's the HOA.
HOA.
Like, oh, okay, you're forcing somebody to maybe put out $10,000 to keep her house. Like that's insane, bro.
That yeah, but
10
that's,
grand,
that's
no,
something-
so-
hold on,
so-
hold on, let me address that.
But that's what.
That's something that she signed up for. Legally, she's bound by that. Okay, that wasn't just something that haphazardly happened. You're just like, oh my god, I didn't know I was going to have to change. No, she signed a contract, just like the laws.
Oh,
And if she signed that law or that contract, guess what? She's bound by that contract, right?
Ooh.
but,
ooh.
yeah, but
well,
some,
then let me
some HOAs are just ignorant.
let me
Like,
use
why
that.
change your paint every 10 years? Oh,
It's to keep the
no,
neighborhood looking nice.
No, keep your grass clean. Keep your
I have an
weeds full.
HOA, and
I have an
HOA.
I really don't complain about it because I like my grass being green.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually like my property values to maintain or at least go
Maintain.
high. When you don't maintain that, property values go down, bro.
Ooh,
So
and when
there's-
the-
so-
and
so
when
you
the-
don't
at
believe-
home.
and when the
But you
neighbors-
don't believe in the American dream is what you're saying. Now to you,
Yeah.
like you were stuttering about it.
Oh, about the American dream?
yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, I've pursued it and tried to go after the American dream. Hell, I'm an actor in one regard, 26 years. I'm a business owner for 26 years. I'm a martial artist, but you don't see me on the cover of like Vogue or Martial Art Weekly.
I'm trying to get us there. We ain't there yet.
You know what I'm saying?
We ain't there
You know what
yet.
I'm saying? I don't know why I'd be on Vogue anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, man? Like I've chased this stuff, and for some reason it eludes me. It's escaping me, and I can't really attain any of those things as greatness. However, However, I've been quite content and happy, and I could hang my hat on any one of those things and say it was
Now,
a success.
think about this. So if you came in under the last administration, you were given a lot of money to start your own business and things like that. How come they get a hand up and you didn't, or I didn't?
Well,
They do it.
sometimes no, you gotta check yourself on that because some
No,
of
I-
that, some of that,
I
some,
can check
some
that.
no,
I'm
some
not
of
even serious.
sometimes. So you're talking about like like no taxes for 7 years and stuff like that.
Is
for
that
people
even
who come
true
in.
though? Do they even
This
do
is
that
usually
stuff
for
anymore?
wartime countries that were war torn by the U.S.
Oh,
Or
okay.
by with or about the U.S. And then there's some type of reparations and everything. So
Sure.
so it's happened with Vietnam. That's why.
Which that was necessary.
Yep. So they'll come here and they'll have like 7 years no taxes and more power to them so that they could
Yeah.
build a nice
who
restaurant that I really
who
love
we
to
did
eat at.
dirty is Afghanistan, because we
How?
pulled all out and then left all the interpreters, all the people that worked for, the government, basically said peace out and good luck if you come
Right.
in. Now there's a lot more that came through, but are they true Afghans, or are they part of the Taliban, Mujahideen, any of those things that
No.
we created, through our CIA or even
Right.
the KGB?
See, so it's just a mess,
It's an
man.
open
Like,
See, and that's where the 14th Amendment gets real like iffy, right?
Gray.
Because it was
Gray.
created after the Civil War. Black people were brought here. Listen, people, this isn't like it's something that we're talking about that's hidden. In history, slavery was real in America, guys.
slavery's been with
It-
every
it's
biblical.
They were brought here
skin color and race.
without their choice. African people were brought here. They didn't get a choice to be here.
Yeah.
So the 14th Amendment, in a nutshell, was built for them after the Civil War, saying, hey, you're now citizens. We're integrating you guys into our system.
So the
It wasn't
14th
set up. It wasn't set up for people coming across the border freely.
So I'm looking at your notes. So June 3rd, is that when the 14th Amendment, 1866 was?
1866.
Gotcha. Okay, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
So that's what I'm saying. So once the Civil War took place and it was done and over with, these laws got put into place.
Mhm.
But since those laws were so old, and like you said, there's a gray area,
Well,
can it still apply to people that are coming in freely?
yeah, is it still applicable? I mean,
That's-
unlike the Bible, where like all of the laws, like are true through and through. I mean, is there's cohesion from New Testament and Old Testament and like covering it. But yeah, these are man's laws, and I do think that they need to be
But don't you think these laws were
reestablished.
governed by
either
God?
reestablished or
No, I think not all laws are governed by God, because
Okay.
you look at the Talmud and all these things, all these.
even
the
Mosaic laws.
Yeah, the 10 Commandments were originally the only commandments you needed, but then men perverted it to, just like politicians do.
Man.
Yeah, they basically perverted it and subverted it and said, you know what, let's have about this, to where you.
Wow,
broke
that was
every
deep.
law.
Most people do not understand the Ten Commandments was set up as the basic law for
Basic.
everything.
Yeah, and it's basic, because when you think about it, thou shalt not kill. Why?
Thou shalt not steal. Hey,
Thou
so
shalt not
and
covet
this
thy
kind of goes
neighbor's
off
wife.
of ice, but the Ten Commandments. What's the only one that gives you a promise along with it?
Oh, it's
your
honor
father
your
and
mother and
mother.
father. Honor
Is
your
it
mother.
honor your father and mother?
Yeah, honor your mother and father, that all might go well with you, and that you might have a long life, and that that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one with the promise.
That's super cool. What is that, like the 6th one or 8th one, or
You know?
I don't know.
I don't know. what
Because think about, why would he say thou shalt not kill, all that, give these basic laws, and all of a sudden give you a promise? That's kind of
Well, because when you think about it, a lot of the laws were created at that time in the Ten Commandments to protect you. That's why a lot of these laws that were established, getting back to our subject,
yup.
are established to protect the citizens of not only the United States,
Yeah, that's
but
good.
each of
Those
That
the
is
boundaries-
really good.
those
That
boundaries
okay,
and
expound on
borders.
that some. That's really good.
So I mean, I can't get a citizenship, even if I wanted to, in Germany without going through the legal process. Can't just jump in there. But let's just go to a conspiracy that nationwide, the United Nations is actually pushing immigration, so that way there's a one world, a new world order, like George Bush said, George Senior Bush. I believe. Well, now I'm dipping into something that there's.
Yes,
one
you
world.
are. You're
Yeah.
dipping into it now.
Do we
That's-
wanna take
No,
it down?
I don't
No,
think we
not
want to.
today.
I don't think we want to dive into that,
Oh,
because
yeah.
once we go down that road, we're not coming back to the
So
ice
when
theory.
would you say the government was first formed?
Are you
According
saying?
to- Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Sorry. Like, are you asking like when the presidency was first formed, or
when you had
Congress?
Democrats and Republicans. When was that? First?
Oh my goodness, that's That's why. That's I don't know, guys. To tell
I
you,
don't
if
know.
any, that's a good question. If
Republicans-
anybody knows,
The Republicans were built during the time of slavery because they opposed the slavery. They Abraham Lincoln was one of the first Republicans. Not only him, actually, and like Brock, somebody knows out there better than we. So please call us at 303-477-5600.
that's a good
Because
question.
I think
When was the
Abraham
party
Lincoln,
set up?
Abraham Lincoln is my favorite president of all time.
Yeah, over Trump?
Of course.
No, indeed not.
Abraham
Dude,
Lincoln
he's
was a
Trump-
good
Trump,
old man.
Trump is old
He
school.
hopped out the window with
Look,
his-
look what they tried to do.
Bro,
Trump they tried to assassinate Trump. I don't know who tried to, but someone tried to assassinate Trump.
Lincoln got assassinated.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Okay,
Democrat.
and then they tried
John
crippling
Lewis.
his business.
God, man, what's up? You know.
They tried crippling his business. They tried throwing the first president ever in prison, man.
That's why I'm not
President
political.
Trump is
That's
legit.
why I'm not political at all.
You lie.
Because
Right.
I'm not political. One ounce of me is political.
Dude, this guy's such a
one.
I mean, think about it. You have people back in 1800 political still killing presidents, and it's happening today. There's a spirit behind that.
1776.
If you look at the way the political party's set up, they're set up to push their agenda.
That's
The
right.
Democratic Party is pushing the Democratic agenda. Republicans are pushing the Republican, and the Libertarian is just in the middle, sitting there.
Bernie,
Like,
not really doing nothing.
Hypocrite.
Not
Let's
really
just
doing
be
nothing.
real. I'm tired of all these millionaires. Then he's a
and then he's a multi-
millionaire.
I was going to bring that into the next episode.
Bernie Sanders.
These guys are sitting back talking about taking our tax money. Let's the ultra rich. Guess what? If you're making $30 million a year, in my eyes, you're ultra rich.
Yeah.
Let's just be real about it.
All right. See you soon.
That was
Yeah,
a
come on
good
back. Come
topic.
on back.
Yeah, we were going. You opened up a can of worms with that one, bro. Oh my god.
I'm having a hard time, bro. I'm not political, and I don't know too much, but still.
Yeah.
No, you're political.
Yeah, I think you're doing good.
Yeah.
I suck at politics.
Dude, I wanted to hear.
This is a deep topic,
Yeah.
dude.
No, I actually want to hear more of what you have to say, to be honest with you.
About what?
Well, we're gonna come in strong with the money part now. Now you done started up. We're gonna talk money now, buddy.
Money has.
It's funny though. Like, I mean, people would talk about, okay, what is it, Bernie Sanders? He's talking about no millionaires, and then he's
For sure.
come to find out he's a millionaire.
For sure.
Millionaire by how
And
much?
he didn't make money
It's crazy.
through a normal. He made money as a politician.
Right, but then
Yeah,
how?
right.
But
They're
but
making
then
money as a politician.
but then what is the worth and
He didn't really
value of
do
like
what
Trump?
says.
I mean, because
Trump
if you're
agreed.
gonna judge somebody
Totally.
by the money that they
That's
have,
right. That's
but
right.
but is the issue that he was Democratic and that is an issue, or is it that
He was a
that
Democrat.
he's not saying that he was a millionaire and then he turned out to be? And I'm talking about Bernie Sanders, right?
Yeah.
Which never became a president, so it's kind of
Oh, you're on,
no
bro. It's
consequence.
almost on.
Oh,
Man, I gotta take a leak.
there comes you. Oh, dude, you
Sorry,
can't
guys.
take a leak. All right, we're coming back up. Excellent.
Sorry about that, guys. Just being real.
Man, being real.
Yeah. Don't look, guys. I'm about to.
Have you guys ever hired one of those people from like Home Depot? No, I haven't either. I've wanted to.
Wonder. I ain't gonna lie. I've thought about it.
I've thought about it a lot of
Just
times.
act like it's at my home and then just bouncing back to home and be like, no, they never paid. No money. No money.
Yeah,
No work.
yeah, yeah.
No work. Dang, Walsh Park, huh? So, you guys are high end.
Yeah, immigration is a tough one, man. But I can say it doesn't. Like, I don't know that it affects me much.
Yeah, it does, because I know I can get that windshield that you put in me for
You get-
$200.
Right, but the problem is, do you want the fly-by-night guy who's not going to be there
He's
for
in
you,
the
or do
lead.
you want to establish? Oh, thank you thank you.
They do it, bro. I guess we could go on that money piece then, because it affects me too. It affects you. You just don't. It affects me. It affects
I
my
think-
industry.
I think. So yeah, we want to talk about the effect of.
So I can't hear. That's mine, bro. This one's yours.
Good afternoon, Colorado. Again, we're KLZ 560 AM. You can reach the guys and talk to all of us at 303 477 5600. I'm going to slow that down again and give you the number again. It's 303 477 5600. And at the end of the month, our last Saturday that we're on the show, go to our Facebook page, The Guys Perspective, post a picture of your dog, and we're giving away a dinner for two Cinzettis and a Bo Nix jersey. Again, the topic is ice. We're going to go around the room and then we'll start it up. Tell them who you guys are.
I am the truth, nothing but the truth.
Love it.
So help me.
So help all of us.
So help you.
I'm Vanilla Ice, not so vanilla.
I'm Brock.
And I'm Heath Candy Bar.
So so as we left off, we started talking about how politicians in general talk about how people are taking your tax dollars, but yet they're millionaires themselves. And so when they start addressing the issue of the ultra rich, guys, I would say if somebody's making $5 million a year, they're pretty rich, right?
Yeah.
I would just say wealthy.
No, wealthy is different from rich. Wealthy is like billionaire status, in my opinion.
True.
The rich are kind of stingy or frugal. The wealthy, they have accumulated a lot of wealth, and sometimes they're more generous. And the reason why I can say that is because I've done a lot of work for the wealthy, and I've done work for the rich.
There's a definition. There's a definition for wealth. Wealth is the amount of money that you have that affords you the time. So if it costs you $5,000 a month to live, and you got $50,000, how many months can you live? 10 months.
That's a good way to look at it.
It's a measure of time. Wealth.
Wow. Tell us about it. It's a measure of time. So basically, money is related to time, is what you're saying.
I believe so. Yeah.
So if people come to our country illegally, and hold on, if they come to our country illegally, and they start doing odds and end jobs,
right?
And they start accumulating a wealth, are you going to feel like you're left out if somebody legally comes here and makes more money than you?
No, I've gotten past that egocentric approach to myself and business.
Are you saying that
because
most men? Listen, we're a guy's perspective, and we relate to men. How do most men feel? You said you're past it, but for the general listener, the guy.
Well, certainly I can be jealous. I have been envious. I have wanted more and stuff like that, and thought that I deserved what I had because I worked hard for it. I also used to think that that there wasn't enough to go around. Talking about windshield repairs, right, bro? There are 8 million vehicles registered in Colorado.
There are?
Yes, there are 8 million registered vehicles in Colorado.
The tax revenue.
Bro. Hey, when I'm talking 8 million registered, that's not even talking about the school buses, the trucks, the fleets, and different accounts like that, dealerships, right? Okay, so understand.
So if somebody comes
into
your business, you're not going to care because there's plenty.
Understand this? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is there is plenty. There is enough. To go around so that I don't have to fret over other people who are providing the same service. But I'll tell you this, they're not providing the same service as Heath.
Correct.
Because seriously, bro, because it's personal, it's relational and stuff. And if I can have my business taken away because somebody's from Venezuela and they want to hack job their way through something, well, more power to the person that wants to go with them because it'll be fly by night.
So this is the thing that I've kind of noticed is I get a lot of phone calls from people that said that, well, we had, Jose or Jose. No joke, no, I'm totally kidding around. I mean, it's an old construction joke. But they're not charging a minimal amount. They're charging, in some cases, the same amount that a licensed and insured contractor is providing. And they're coming in, doing, with a mob of people, knocking the work out, and then over a weekend, and to the point where the inspection services are so overwhelmed that they can't even enforce and find out who really did the work.
So it is affecting your business.
Well, I mean, there is plenty of business, but with that said, I guess I'm more about fairness, and which is odd, and odd thing to say because we know that life isn't fair. But yeah, I do believe if I've worked really hard to get a license, I worked really hard, school, and on-the-job training, and I pay all these taxes, then how come someone else can cutthroat me?
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna be mad if I've been born and raised here in America and I'm working my butt off, and somebody comes to America and they get a handout and they got a nicer house than me and a nicer car than me and they didn't have to work as hard as me. We got problems.
But let me tell
But
you,
that ain't just
So-
a Republican. I mean, that's
so-
being the man.
so-
From a guy's perspective, we're men, so we're talking like men.
So, and I'll tell you why it's incongruent and it's hypocritical for us to lambast anybody who's coming into the country illegally and wanting to do some things and do better for their family. Because I've probably
As long as they're not getting a handout. As long as they're not getting a handout.
I can tell you, in fact, I can tell you that I have been probably taken more advantage of by the uber wealthy and the companies that have been established to either like put me out of business or cutthroat me. Big
Wow.
business, call it
So
big business.
you think
American
big business is worse?
Big. Oh yeah, man. If we want to talk immigration, let's cut them back. What do they do? What are they doing coming
This
into our
guy,
country?
man,
What
he
is
is total libertarian, man. He is total libertarian, man. Okay, let's hear it.
He's making a great point.
Well, why?
Why?
Yeah, he's saying let's cut back on major
Explain.
corporations and let's go with the littler guy. I see.
Well, he would only speak from experience because he has owns a business. I don't. But I'm saying he's
Yeah.
making a good point that
Okay.
I
Right.
find it
'Cause-
that
'cause-
more
'cause
wealthier people are stingier with their money.
No,
We'll
indeed
get-
not.
Oh,
They're-
of
they're
course
stingier
they are.
with their
Look,
money
look,
because
we could
everybody
get-
wants
we could-
their money.
There
Let's
you
level
go.
this. We could level it down to you, B. It'd be like you getting one of them burritos on the side of the road, or getting a hamburger from McDonald's. You're gonna get poisoned either way. No, I didn't mean that. I meant like like you're getting sold poison. You're getting sold poison by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, by the burger that you get. So that's big level, right? And
Right.
low level is there was no receipt with my bean and cheese burrito that I got.
So I got a question for you. Then, if illegals don't have to pay taxes, then why should we? Screw it. Everybody.
But that's
stop
what I'm
paying
saying.
taxes.
How do we
Just
know?
tax-
kidding.
that-
tax
Just
loophole.
kidding. I don't want the IRS.
I was going to say,
Well,
how do we
so-
know they're not paying taxes though?
Come on,
I'm certain. I'm certain of that. They're not paying taxes.
Okay, all right.
But,
So
but to get back about the jobs, if you were an American citizen and you were going to college, getting a degree, most illegals coming in here don't have the
The means or wherewithal.
to get
Well,
that
neither
type of
do
job.
most citizens, Brian.
hold on, whoa. We're
That's
talking
because
college.
they're
Hold on, guys. This
And
is
is
my
it- wait,
this
wait,
is my
wait.
10th year in college, and they sent
ain't
me a
graduated.
letter saying I got to pay for my stuff.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay, so you're telling me somebody who comes to America
I'm saying
free
you're
of
gonna get
charge
a
don't got
job
to
that
pay for
people-
something that I have to?
I'm saying you are going to get a job that illegals coming here have no resources to get.
And neither do citizens, Brian.
What do you, yeah,
Citizens
have books.
have-
Citizens
no,
can
no,
go
no.
to school.
Do you-
Citizens
oh.
can go to college.
Okay, so I've been to college too, and guess what? I'm still paying my debt.
I'm not
But
talking
see-
about you paying
College
your
is
debt.
expensive.
No,
I'm talking
we are
about you
talking
being
about
able to
that.
get a job
Right.
from your.
This is good. This is
Degree.
good. Keep this,
And-
guys. And,
So
and
if
we're,
you're
we're
going to college
there
and you
are-
have a degree, you're going to get a job
There are
that illegals
students-
coming in can't get.
Stu-
So I
and
wouldn't
that,
be worried.
but that's the consequence of basically not coming in legally. That's a law that is afforded you, and it's a right. Does it make the playing field level? No, it doesn't, because I still am not in the degree that I went to. I'm an electrician.
people.
That's
This
not what
is
I went
people. This
into.
is good
That's not my
discussion.
degree.
People, this is good discussion that's listening to us chime in. It's 303-477-5600. If you just think we're a bunch of jerks as guys, then
Yeah,
call
let's
us
know.
jerks. I mean, but that's good
Let's
what
know.
Truth in the Booth and Dre was saying. Like that's some
I
deep
like it.
discussion.
It's VIP today.
Or VIP today. But I see both points of view, but especially yours, right? Because if you're an American citizen and you got to struggle your whole life, and someone comes in illegally and doesn't struggle as much as you and gets a handout, that ain't right. That ain't right.
Supposedly it's supposed to be a hand up. I'd love a hand up, man. Send me back to school. I'll go back to school.
You're not gonna get
Pay
it for
for
free. You ain't getting it.
Well, give me that free college. I want it. I'll take it.
I would too.
I've lived 50 years in the United States of
Mhm.
America.
And how?
I, if anybody out there wants to donate,
I mean, do you guys agree with like equality or
I don't.
no
Mm-mm.
to a certain degree, I mean, yeah, we need to protect
equity?
to a certain degree, but that's also a socialist way of
for-
thought. But this is the problem with socialism, is that you don't level the playing field, because guess who becomes rich? The
rich.
elite, the politicians.
Right.
It's an experiment that happened in the Soviet Union. You know what happened is those that were in politics became ultra rich, and those that weren't were the ones scrambling for
Wow.
food, scrambling
Wow.
for bread.
I wanted
They
to-
even had to destroy. They had to destroy their crops because they were told to destroy their crops. That's why I say when you learn history, history is a good school teacher. It's a schoolmaster. We can't erase history because it
They're
is what it
trying
is.
to. They're trying to erase it.
I wanted to get back with what you said, Andre, about you went to college and you're not doing what you went to college for. No, serious. How many-
Something funny's coming.
no, how many people in America are in the same situation? I know so many people that went to college to get a degree and are not doing what they went to college for.
'Cause they choose
Spend
not
all
to.
that money.
They
The,
choose not to.
the college industrial complex, and it's private institutions as well.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Heath, on that one. This is just a
It is.
money making deal. And then once government started basically infusing our tax dollars into it, guess what? It didn't change anything. It didn't make it easier to get in college. In fact, there's a disproportional rate of your income growth to how much a college charges. It's so disproportionate.
You know,
Right,
I want to
right,
say
right.
this. And I want to come back to the first episode. You said that you don't vote, your wife votes.
Yes.
I think that's pretty impressive from a guy's point of view. Most guys aren't going to let their wife
Actually-
dictate how they vote.
Actually, I'd
And
say
if
quite
I'm
the
wrong,
contrary.
please call me at
I-
303-477-5600.
Well, I'd say the contrary happens to that, which is most men will say, "Hey, this is my household. If you're going to live under my rules, you're going to vote my way."
right, because most men are the
Really always
dictator,
hating on
right?
women, guys.
Ah,
Well,
man,
no,
I'm
no,
not-
no, but
I'm
what he's
not-
saying
I'm not
is that's-
hating, but I am saying it's like,
My
hey,
wife's
hey,
not
hey,
that
no,
way,
but
too.
no, but it's like don't change the dial on the either the channel or on the.
But does that
on the
make
air
you? Let me ask
conditioning
you.
and
Does
stuff,
that make
know?
you? But does that make you less of a man because you were listening to your woman of how to vote? Because
I don't.
shouldn't men love the? How's the saying like the rib was taken from the guy so the
Oh.
woman wouldn't be under him
Well,
or
love-
over him, or how does that go?
I want to ask Brian, does your mom
You
vote
know-
for you?
Well, what would be funny? Brock, is it would be sacrificial if I actually cared, but I don't care
And if you don't,
about
then-
my vote.
Yeah, there you go.
And
Well,
Okay, so
and
then
the-
let
and
me
the
ask you,
clo-
as
and
a
the
man,
closer-
what's the one thing in your house that you're dead set on your woman can't do for you?
It's got to be my
Cook? Is it cook, clean?
No, I don't know.
What?
No, we kind of share a lot of those things and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I do
So
too.
yeah, it's all
I don't
shared.
tell my wife what to do because
No,
that's
it's
just
all
rude.
shared.
She's another human being, man.
Right.
Yeah,
But there's so many guys out there, especially when it comes to voting
Yeah.
and political, because politics and religion divide homes.
right,
Jesus
exactly.
said that.
And that's what I'm saying. So is it the
Jesus
man?
said
Wow,
politics
think
and
about what he
religion
just
divide.
said. Politics. You know, now that I think about it, he said, "Give to Caesar what is Caesar's." Politics been around since Jesus was here.
Yeah.
No,
So
for
yeah,
sure.
we want to
but-
go back to
Wow.
But that's what I'm
1776.
saying.
No,
That's
it's way
what
back.
I'm asking. So is a man supposed to dictate how his home votes? What if he's a Republican and she's a Democrat?
Did you hear what the truth
Well,
said?
I think it's all an illusion, and I think it's something to distract us
So then why does it divide homes?
because
There
it's
you go.
distraction. Yeah,
That's
Okay.
the key word. It's to divide.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. You gain more
That's-
power and division than you do, even with this
oh,
topic
absolutely.
today.
Okay.
I mean, this
Divide and
topic
conquer.
today is-
Divide and conquer.
Yeah, this topic today is meant to divide. Let's just be
Yeah.
real, But we also have
But-
laws. But with that said, again, how many more laws have been made that are so divisive?
What?
That we don't even have unity, and that's the saddest part. That's the saddest
Well,
piece.
Where we can begin to have unity and we can begin to find common ground is when you seek first to understand, then to be understood. That's Stephen Covey, and that means that if you are a Republican, then you ought to befriend people who are Democratic, so you can
Absolutely.
have an understanding, so that you can.
Well,
can
let me ask you
forge
this:
forward
should a man before he makes a crucial decision, because it's crucial which way you vote, should he pray with his wife over like what? Do
Religion might
people
divide
do
a
people
It
believe
does.
still in
Yeah.
praying over their families, like over like crucial, like if you're going to buy a home, do they still believe in praying for the type of home they want?
So I got a question. If we were to pray today about this subject of illegal immigration, what would Jesus do?
That's a good question.
Mm.
What would
Jesus
do?
would-
I-
Jesus wouldn't let him
come
in.
to me,
Jesus-
all you heavy.
No, Jesus would not let them in. Look,
Why
Jesus
would
came
he
for
let-
the Jews. Jesus came for the Jews and no one else. He called somebody a dog, a house dog, or whatever it was. He said,
I'm not
it's-
Jewish, so
No,
I
no,
wouldn't
no,
be
This is
included.
what he said. This is what he
in the
said. He
party.
said, "Is it right for me to give food off the master's table?"
But the wisdom of the woman said that that even the little dogs get to eat from the
He came for
scraps.
Jews. He didn't come for anybody else initially.
He still
until
blessed her.
Calvary.
He still blessed her.
I don't
think you guys are listening to the truth.
Okay, then
Huh?
chime in. Then chime in.
Give to Caesar what is Caesar.
Yeah, we heard that line already.
What does that have to do with prayer right now? buddy?
But complete it, and to God what is God's.
There you go.
There you go.
Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, and render unto God. What
So
is
back to
God's.
what you said. If Jesus was here on the earth right now, I think he would be.
Bro, I think
This
that-
is just me saying. I think he would be against the whole immigration movement.
I think the job of the devil is to distract.
Yes.
So you're
Wow.
What
That
are your
shut me up.
Well, no. You can
Hey, how
say
good
that.
is that?
I can say it's Brock's job to distract. But what does that mean? to
No,
you?
the job of the devil is to distract. Anything that takes us away from Christ time, us with Christ. How many people are spun up over politics that they
Check.
don't give that time to Christ?
So let's do this then.
That's deep.
Now let's go back to the law. So if I break into your house, guess what? When I'm sitting in jail, I have the opportunity at any cost to read the Bible and do whatever I want, or read the Torah, or read the Talmud, or whatever. But with that said, it's still a law broken, and I'm separated from my children. I'm separated from my family. Is that fair? So are you basically saying let's open up the prison doors and say, you know what, screw it. All you guys that have committed a crime, let's let you guys out. Why? Because we want equality.
Wow.
But I
Wow.
mean, if we tie back to the other show, we're talking about a for-profit industrial complex of prison system, which we already kind of don't agree with. The people who like just the way that system is run.
Right.
For sure.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm with
We
you guys.
don't.
It's a
So-
flawed system.
So
Yeah.
so I guess my point is then.
But so are you
it's
saying?
still not going to serve, even if somebody broke into your house, it's not going to serve properly.
But
It's not
that's
gonna-
what I'm saying. Back
It's
to
never you're never going to be made whole.
But that's
And
what.
you could just
Sure.
equally be robbed by, probably more likely be robbed by an American than you would somebody from Guatemala.
But
or
what Dre
Venezuela.
is saying, like,
Yeah.
do you think?
Just statistically speaking,
what-
with numbers.
You're right.
if the Bible is, and in my eyes, the Bible's the best book ever written.
Yes.
Why
agreed.
in the world, if it's based off of structures and laws, why can't America have structures and
But
laws?
weren't the structures and
Fallen.
laws tore down after Jesus died on the
No,
cross?
indeed not. The Old Testament laws still apply today, except for sacrificing an animal.
I think I'm not flipping
No. Hey, good flex. Good
No,
flex.
no. Seriously, God doesn't change, so the Old
No.
Testament laws still have to apply today, right?
No, because we're in the dispensation of grace, and so
I thought we just said the Ten Commandments based
no man,
everything.
no man, any man who says he could complete the laws is a liar.
Mhm.
Like every man is a liar, and God is true.
Absolutely.
And only one person, Jesus, was the one to follow through with all 10 commandments and his perfection and everything that was from all the, not the predictions. What was it?
Well, he fulfilled everything.
Fulfilled everything.
I
Yes.
feel like
Yeah.
you say that in.
And
Sorry.
the point that I'm making is that why we're in the dispensation of grace is because I can't keep the law. If I keep the whole law and fail in one, I failed them all. So I have to believe in the one who kept all the law. So therefore, I don't necessarily. I believe myself as a Christian that I'm forgiven for the things
This
that
is
I've
helping
other.
guys right now.
For the-
We're going down the road right now.
For
So
the things-
let me ask you this: then what was the whole point of Calvary? If the Old Testament laws are just going to get thrown out the window, why in the world did God become the ultimate sacrifice? I can't believe we're going down this road.
but
bro.
you have to
What in the
understand.
world?
Remember, because Jesus said that he kind of threw that paradox out, which made it more difficult and more easy at the same time for keeping the law.
Yeah.
He said all the law is wrapped up and bound up in this: love the Lord thy God with all thy mind, heart, body, and soul, and love thy neighbor as thyself.
Absolutely.
And this is how you keep the law. And he said also that if you've looked upon a woman with lust in your heart, you've committed the act of adultery, and if you hate your brother, you've committed the act of murder. So
right,
that's
but
why
that's
he
what I'm
made it
saying.
more
So
difficult.
the Bible has structure, it has laws. Then America has
Right.
to have structures and laws.
Yeah, but again, Jesus was giving us grace and mercy,
We're
Oh.
get every illegal
Jesus.
person who's came into America and they got a handout. That's grace and mercy in my eyes.
So you're saying we are fulfilling
Until-
the
until-
biblical
until
We,
you-
law.
we
until
are.
you-
That's what I'm
until you
saying. Because
revoke.
Jesus
Grace
had
and
laws.
mercy.
We have to have laws.
The grace and mercy, you're basically saying that, if an illegal, comes to the country, then they should be allowed.
No, I'm saying they should not be allowed because Jesus would not have allowed
But
it.
where's grace and mercy then? See, now it can be devil's
Okay. So since you're saying that's grace and where's the grace and mercy on that? The grace and mercy in it is you came to
Hey.
America. We gave you a time to learn our system, our bylaws, our truths, and that's the grace and mercy right there.
Now, America is not the church, and America is not Jesus.
No.
So,
But it's
unlike-
part of the church.
so-
We
so-
fund
so-
more
so-
missionaries than any other country.
right, but
But we also fund a lot more.
but what
Sorry.
but
Well,
what
yes.
but what rules would Pastor Tate or any pastor have on people that are going to
God,
come
that's
into the
good. If
church?
there's a pastor out there listening to 303
What rules?
5600. That's
What
deep.
rules would you put on people before they come into your church?
So
So
that's a
hold
good
on.
question.
That's a good question because if a person comes
You
to your
accept
church,
them first.
no.
Okay,
If they come in with a weapon, you ain't accepting that. They gotta
Good
go.
point.
If they come in with a dog,
No,
hold
it'd
on.
be a
If
good
they
point
come
if it
in with
was
a
a knife.
dog, if they come in with a dog, unless it's a helping dog, the dog's got to go,
I get what you're
and they
saying.
got to go. You know what I'm saying? There's got to be
You
straws
gotta
and
have some
luxury in
structure.
everything.
If they
Because
come
if
in
you
with
don't have
a-
structure, you have anarchy.
That-
And I'm getting back to government.
Thank
Even
you.
in religion, you just got to have structure.
good.
You got to have some type of rules.
Mhm.
Anybody who acts like, oh, we don't need that, well, they're hypocrites. But then, at the end of the day, if you get philosophical, aren't we all hypocrites to some point?
Yes.
To some degree? I think that's what
yes,
you were saying.
we are all
sometime.
hypocrites.
Is that right? Heath?
Yeah, we are all hypocrites.
I'm not a hypocrite.
I'm-
No, you're not.
In that
No,
statement,
you're
in
not.
that
Just
statement,
in
you
that
are.
statement.
What did Jesus say? He said, "Come as you are." So if I want to come with my dog, shouldn't I be able?
No, indeed not.
Why?
Good. Hold on. Are you going to walk in with all 5 of your dogs in McDonald's?
Well, no, that's for.
Oh no. There's got to be structures in law.
That's respect for the house of
Then
God.
there's respect for America. You come in the right way.
All right.
Hey,
This is
that's a
saying-
mic drop.
Man.
Hey, it's good. Get quiet. Get quiet.
That was a great theory and a great symbolism to that.
Yeah, that was.
That was
Thank
great.
you. That was college education at its
What are,
best.
what are illegals doing so bad? That,
Right.
what are illegals doing so bad that they're forcing this issue so much? Like,
But again,
They're coming in the wrong way, and that's what Trump's saying. Trump's saying this is not right.
I think what Trump is trying to do is protect the citizens and the taxes that everybody is paid into the system. Because why are we footing the bill for everybody? And we're getting used. We're getting
Across the
but
globe.
who would care about what
Let me
I
play.
care. You
I
don't have
care.
kids.
I
You don't
care.
have kids.
No,
You don't have
So
a
let me
family.
let me play
Well, I got
something.
one thing to say.
Let
I'm
me
saying,
just-
who
well,
cares
no,
what
no.
they're spending our tax
Let
money
me-
on?
I
I'm
do.
sad they're taking my tax money anyway.
So-
they're taking my money out of my check every week. That's
Now,
what I care about.
Right.
Give me my money. Don't take my tax money. And
Are
I'll
you sure
take-
this guy's a Democrat, man? He's
Yeah.
starting to sound like us here at the
Well,
table, man.
I'm liberal and I'm conservative. So
I whatever helps my bank account.
That's true.
what I
I'm with
so
this
you
guy. I like helping my
You
bank
need to chuck
account.
your woman out to give her the boot.
But I mean,
I'm just kidding.
Well,
you know-
I was going to say something, man. So obviously we're talking about the immigration laws and stuff like that, and we think that that's a problem. So let's like zero it down to like Denver and Colorado and what the problem is, and it's Californians. And so
I can't believe you said that.
no. So here's the thing, and what I'm trying to paint here is how we can be hypocritical, because what we'll do is it's not necessarily about like immigration. We're mad and upset because Denver has changed in our 40 years of being here, guys. Denver has changed, and it's not
Especially
all
the
immigrants,
housing
bro.
market.
And it's not all immigrants, man. It's
Right.
people moving in from other states, and then that changes it from a red state to a blue state or a purple
Gentrifying.
state. Gentrified. So
Yeah,
life is
gentrification.
happening,
Yeah.
and we were becoming more of a metropolitan.
Mm.
Boom.
I like it. I like it. No, he's right. It's Colorado. Guys, let me ask you this: do you think Colorado has changed really
Yeah.
in the last 40 years?
Oh,
Shit.
yeah, definitely has.
Right. I mean, look at the housing market.
Yeah.
How come houses are getting so much more
And
expensive?
they're in neighborhoods that back in the day they only paid like 10, 20,000. I mean,
That's
that's
right.
gentrification at its best. So now you're basically pushing the low income to a place where they're almost homeless.
Wow.
I mean, how is that fair to anybody talking about
Wow.
equity? So yeah, that's why I'm not Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm very independent because there's certain points. So. Anywho, mic drop.
Right.
Well, I can't talk about the subject because I can't afford property.
I beat you beat down,
I live at
bro.
home.
Just saying,
Man,
for-
this
for
is
every-
wild.
This was a super good topic. Again, you can call us at 303-477-5600 and
Yeah,
at any
love us,
time
hate us.
and talk to the guys. You know what? It really does bother me that the housing market. So I can't believe we're even mentioning the housing market right now. Like, it's gotten stupid. I was hearing something the other day that people nowadays can't even. The American dream was a house they can't even afford it
Now,
anymore.
I agree. Now check this out. So all that money that I went over in Stapleton, they rented out just like in New York City, things like that. They rented out all these buildings and such that helped out in an illegal population. You know, think how much more what
That's
us
sanctuary city type stuff.
Yeah. Think about us. You know, whatever happened to us? We got kicked to the curb.
Mm.
When you think about it, I didn't get no
Yep.
supplement.
We're gonna have
See
to talk
see
about.
everybody later. We'll debate on whether we're continuing this next week.
Yeah,
Thanks for
Colorado, thanks for listening, and y'all have a good afternoon.
thank
listening.
you.
Check us out
guys.
on our podcasts.
That was a deep topic, dude. Jesus, man. Dude, I love how we threw that biblical party in, dude. That was epic.